This is Channels Television's breaking news.
The following is a highly sensitive report released by the CIA as declassified to the Kenyan intelligence. The Kenyatta family and the closest associates of the late Jomo Kenyatta accumulated and amassed extensive wealth commercially and agriculturally during the 15-year rule of the late president. Most of his close associates who occupied many of the key posts in the Kenyan economy abused office and power conferred to them by the presidency and the Kenyan people. The so-called close presidential associates were nothing but a clique of Kikuyu tribal leaders who plotted and crafted an evil plan at the time to mount pressure to the then Daniel T. Arap Moi, a member of the minority Kalenjin tribal group, and his longtime supporter Charles Njonjo in order to oust him as acting president. This plan, however, failed miserably because the schemers would not make a foolish unconstitutional move due to the massive investments they had pumped into the Kenyan economy. Kenyatta'S would later be seen as one that would friction himself with the now bitter Moi Njonjo group, who were pushing to increase its share of the economic pie, as well as the growing public disenchantment of the Kenyatta'S clan economic monopoly. This mounting economic pressures would later be seen as one that would reinforce pressures for a redivision of the earlier on-looted country's wealth. The Kenyatta'S extended family was then exposed by the CIA to boast of extensive holdings of farms, plantations, hotels, casinos, insurance, shipping and real estate companies. Apart from the big offices they occupied in government back then, the CIA revealed that several members of Kenyatta's family controlled influential posts in large industrial companies doing businesses in Kenya, like the Ford Motor Company and Lawnho, which was a British multinational active in the exploitation of African agriculture. The CIA Declassified Files on the Kenyatta Family, Part 2. In the second part of the Declassified Files, the CIA came up with a very interesting revelation of how the family members and close associates of Kenyatta's family controlled a large part of the parcels and chunks of land owned by the white settlers, famously known as the White Highlands, which also was the homeland for the majority of Home Guards and Kenyatta's family, who betrayed the Mau Mau freedom fighters, who viciously fought the white man's aggression and domination of the African highlands. Later on, the CIA would later reveal that the British imperialists established a fund during Kenya's independence in 1963 to help the Kenyan government purchase farm from the European settlers in the highland areas and redistribute the land among the land-hungry African farmers. Many farmers were settled through this scheme. However, the CIA revealed that huge chunks of funds were allegedly pocketed by Kenyatta's ministers and members of his family. In order to protect its members, attempts by the parliamentary group and officials to limit land ownership was blocked. It was reported that Jomo Kenyatta himself had amassed numerous properties in Kiambu district that he was born and Rift Valley of close to 4,000 hectares, which were mainly farms. The reports also indicated that his fourth wife Mama Ngina Kenyatta had acquired and invested heavily in the ruby mining sector, the coffee and tea plantations at Machu and Mangu, and 3 sisal farms near the Tanzanian border, 115,000 hectares and 13,000 hectare ranch in Kiambu district. This trickled down to other members of Kenyatta family who assumed different positions in government and the private sectors, like Peter Muigai in Inchcape that handles the Ford Motor concession in Kenya, Peter Kenyatta, and his sister Margaret, the former mayor of Nairobi, who own large tracts of land, the president's cousin, the chairman of Lawnho in Kenya that built the Mombasa-Nairobi gas pipeline, Kenya's sole film distributor. CIA Declassified Files on the Kenyatta Family, Part 3. The 31st of August 1978, revealed Secret 15. On August 31st, the CIA revealed that besides other interests, Margaret Kenyatta and Mama Ngina Kenyatta were probably the country's largest charcoal and ivory traders, which are considered lucrative businesses. Kenya's forests and wildlife have threatened the underpinnings of the Kenyan economy. Both women were able to obtain special licenses, and it was rumored that they were involved in smuggling of ivory even after the ban on ivory exports. The CIA revealed that a special license was issued to the chairman and chief stockholder, who was Margaret Kenyatta, to export 1,250 baby elephant tusks. Later on, the CIA would report a growing popular disgruntlement where the Kenyatta's family hold on the economy was resented. Concerns were raised by a number of individuals, like students from the University of Nairobi, who raised their concerns about the uneven distribution of Kenya's wealth and income. They also further voiced their concerns, citing the consequences the Kenyatta family ignored, especially on environmental matter and the environmental degradation that came along with it. The parliamentarians brought about the debate of scandals and high-level corruption that was highly publicized by the country's free press. Also raised was the concern for the destruction of Kenyan forests and the scavenging of the scrubland for charcoal that would eventually lead to the reduction of habitat for our wildlife, further enhancing the encroaching desert that would lead to the threat of tourism and the livelihoods of Kenyans, majority of whom were subsistence farmers. The current political situation in Kenya is taking a totally different shape, causing tremors amongst the Kenyan leadership, corrupt, shrewd, self-centered businessmen and women who support the wicked, dehumanizing, demonic, blood-sucking Azimio coalition that has little or no interest in bettering the lives of innocent, suffering, malnourished, impoverished Kenyans, most of whom live below less than $1 a day. State oligarchs who term themselves as the Kenyan deep state have deeply involved themselves in the Kenyan succession politics, throwing and spinning the country to a political quagmire. The recent deputy presidential appointment of Martha Karua for the Azimio coalition saw the country wade away into mixed reactions, as she is considered to be a staunch atheist who commands a lot of respect and support from the Atheist Society of Kenya in her political bid and support for the Azimio coalition. Raila Odinga, the leader of the Azimio coalition who appointed Martha Karua as his running mate, is well known for his discretion against the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK. This was attributed to the remarks made by Ida Odinga, who emphasized that churches should be reduced or disbanded to decrease the number of houses of worship in the Kenyan nation.
Inside that area of my home, there are 200 churches.
This garnered up a huge support from the Atheist Society of Kenya, who supported the abolition of churches countrywide. This caused a public uproar that made the Kenyan citizens reject Martha Karua upon her appointment for the position deputy president under the Azimio coalition. Rigathi Gachagua, who is the Kenya Kwanza's preferred candidate against Martha Karua's Azimio coalition, is termed as the favorite choice of the Kenyan people in the deputy presidential bid and the presidential bid of Dr. William Ruto. Lately, the country has experienced a wave of rejections for Martha Karua and her Azimio coalition party in various parts of the country, with the people chanting UDA party slogan against the Azimio coalition.
Kwa unyenyekevu tukiomba usaidie.